Okay, so I'm going to go over how to do your assignment. So the first page is instructions, mark the correct box to tell which group of fraction it belongs to. And then it even gives you an example of what each one is, right? The zero fraction always has a zero as the top number. Proper fraction has a bigger bottom number. Whole number, same top and bottom number. And an improper fraction has a bigger top number. So you're just going to look at each of these and decide which one it is, right? And then just put a little X in it or something like that. So number one, there's a zero on top, and as soon as there's a zero on top, that's going to make it a zero fraction. Number two, I look at 98, 89. Well, my numerator is bigger than my denominator, right? The top number is bigger than the bottom, so that's going to make it improper. So I'm just going to automatically put that one in there, right? So you're just marking what each one is, and like I said before, you can always go back up here to reference it. Easy peasy. Now, the next page. It says, look at the top and bottom numbers of each fraction and decide if its value is closest to 0, half, or 1. So you're going to be putting in one of these three things in the blank. Okay, is it closest to 1, closest to 0, or close to half? Right? So you would look at 48 and 50, they're very close to each other. Okay? So if they're close, you're going to put the 1. Now 1 and 20, very, very far apart. Okay? So you would put a 0 for that one. And then for 6 and 13, well, they're about halfway apart on a number line, right? It takes almost 2 6s to get to 13. Okay? It actually takes a little bit more than 2 6s. So if it's a little bit more of, if timesing that top number by 2 gets you really close to the bottom number, then you know it's going to be close to half. Okay, so then you're going to put in 1/2. Okay, so now you'll just do the rest of those. And the last page is comparing. And this is, you're going to put in the greater than, equal than, or less than sign. And you want to think about, right? You want to think about whether it is closest to 0, half, or 1 to help you out. Okay, so like on this one, 15/16 is close to 1, but 1/20 is really close to 0. So if it's closer to 1, that's going to make 15/16 bigger, right? On this one, 3 and 3, well, that is 1, right? It's a whole fraction. This is a proper fraction, 8/12. It's close to half. So 1 would be bigger than half, so that's going to make that one bigger, right? And then let's look at 4, for example. 7/2. Well, this is an improper fraction, which means that improper fractions are going to be more than 1. And this one is a proper fraction, so it's going to be less than 1. Well, if this is more than 1, that one's going to be bigger. Doesn't matter what these numbers on top are. It's just the fact that this is an improper fraction makes it bigger than 1, so it's going to make it more. Okay? So you're just putting in those signs. Okay?